What's good, all my healthcare brothers and sisters? I hope that y'all are having a wonderful day. This video is going to be my unbiased review of Capella University's FlexPath nursing education program. In 2019, I decided to go back to school to finish my master's with Capella's FlexPath program's Master's in Nursing Education. I finished it in 5 months. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 5 months. The program's normally, I believe they say 11 months is what they sponsored on commercials and on different marketing aspects. However, I was being much more proactive than most, and I finished it in 5 months. I'm going to be covering my journey through the program and the pros and cons. This is my unbiased review. I was not a sponsored FlexPath student. I paid for my tuition and the cost of the program through my own income, and these opinions and experiences are solely based on my own, not of my employer, and also not of Capella themselves. So this is solely my experiences and my opinions of the program, of how it could potentially benefit you or how it may not benefit you depending on what it is that you're looking for. So a lot of questions I get is, why did I choose to go back to get my master's degree in nursing education? Why didn't I want to be a nurse practitioner or a PA or something else? CRNA, whatever the case may be. Well, really it comes down to the fact that I'm extremely passionate about educating healthcare employees, whether it's nursing or anything else. It was something that I was passionate about when I first attended nursing school way back in the day, and even going through as a baby grad and becoming an experienced RN. I felt that there was a lot of need for healthcare education in general, and that's just something that I implemented in 2016 when I began the Nurse Chung channel. It was something that I love. I love educating healthcare. I wanted to make it a career goal. I wanted to be the in-between person, kind of like your tutor. When you're not understanding content, you're not understanding concepts. That's really why I wanted to become a nursing educator. So the next obvious step was to get my master's degree in nursing education. It is a requirement when you're teaching in clinicals, or you're becoming a nurse educator in a hospital, or you're becoming academic faculty. It is a requirement for you to have that. And also the MSN kind of gives you a level of credibility within the role, whether you're at bedside or you're in administration, as you understand the aspects of education and what it takes to be a healthcare educator. So that was really the main reasons why I chose to go back to school. I chose to go with Capella because Capella was actually a program that was offered through my employer, where my employer would pay a certain amount of money. Basically, it was everything. But my employer would pay for my education, and that I would therefore pay for certain things like book costs, like little things. But they paid for a majority of it so that I would stay with my employer and continue to be in an advanced practice role such as nursing education. And it really, at the time, was the best fit for me because they offered the FlexPath program, and the FlexPath program allowed you to either go as quickly as you wanted or to go as slow as you wanted. But I just at the time felt like this was a great option for me, and I decided to go for it. So let's talk about the application process with Capella University. Prior to enrolling into the MSN program, I actually spoke with an enrollment counselor who kind of went over like program details, application processes, the cost of the program, those type of things. I did inquire originally about financial aid, because I would be requiring financial aid to pay for a lot of this. However, they didn't really have a whole lot of information about it. And it ended up burning me in the end that I didn't get those questions answered beforehand, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But the good thing about the program is that if you work for some companies, some hospital organizations, they will actually provide discounted tuition to the people who attend those programs, as well as waive the application fees. So that was something that I was interested in. Not to mention the FlexPath aspect of it was great. So I could either go as quickly as I want or as slow as I want, depending on what was going on in my personal life. When you're a parent, or you're taking care of loved ones, or you're having multiple jobs, that's really something that's important in a program to have. And that's really one of the main benefits that Capella offered to me when I decided to go to their program. So the application process was actually pretty typical. Like most universities, they wanted copies of my transcripts to verify my education history. They needed employment verification to verify the tuition discounts and application fees being waived. Financial aid wasn't something that was really discussed during the application process. I felt like that's something that Capella could work on in the future, is to help learners, especially if they're going through a FlexPath program, understand how the FlexPath financial aid works. And after all of that was submitted, I submitted my application. So nothing was out of the ordinary in regards to the application process with Capella versus like attending like a local university where you physically have to go. So Capella FlexPath offers a total of 13 courses for their master's degree in nursing education program. 12 of those courses are core class courses where there's a lot of paper writing and research. And one of the classes is your Practicum capstone experience, that you kind of get your actual experience with a preceptor that has a master's degree in nursing education or something that they feel is credentialed enough for you to precept with them. But yeah, so the FlexPath program is breaking down into quarters as opposed to semesters. So instead of it being like 5 months where you have spring, summer, and fall, it's over a 12-week period, and then after that 12-week period is done, you're put into a new billing cycle. So you're billed for every 12-week period in the FlexPath program. But the courses that they offer, the first one that you'll take is Communication, Collaboration, and Care Analysis for Master's Learners. So I started this course on June 3rd, 2019, and I actually finished it on June 10th, 2019. That was actually a really quick and easy course for me. It was kind of like an introduction to master's prepared learning. The 3 assignments that were in that course was a interprofessional collaboration, managing diversity, and leadership self-assessment papers. Pretty much all of the courses are just a lot of paper writing or making concept maps or writing letters, or it's just a lot of writing is really what it comes down to. The next course, Evidence-Based Practice for Patient-Centered Care and Population Health. I started that course on June 10th and finished it on June 25th, 2019. That also had 3 assignments. It was Evidence-Based Patient-Centered Concept Map, Evidence-Based Population Health Improvement Plan, and Patient-Centered Care Report. Those are the 3 assignments in that course. I moved on to the Nurse Educator role. That was the next course. That was from June 25th until July 28th, 2019. That course actually had 5 assignments in it. The history of nursing education, applying the tripartite model, nurse educator philosophy statement, creating a professional development plan, and teaching about legal and ethical issues. This course took me a little bit longer to take because I had a disagreement with the instructor regarding the grading for the course. She would give me unfair grading, and I had contacted a tutor to try to get more help. The tutor told me how to fix it. I fixed it. I submitted it again, and she still gave me unfair grading even after dealing with a tutor, which is what she suggested. So I know I'm good at writing papers. That's pretty much what I do. So I reached out to the program head, and the program head gave me the option to leave that course and take it with someone else, which I did, and I passed that course with flying colors. So unfortunately, that course took me a little bit longer than it should have, specifically taking that class. Moving on, we have Quality Improvement of Interprofessional Care. That started on July 28, 2019. I finished that on August 16th. That also had 3 assignments: Adverse Event and Near Miss Analysis, Quality Improvement Initiative Evaluation, Data and Quality Improvement Initiative Proposal. The 3 assignments there. Next was Teaching and Active Learning Strategies. I started that on August 14th, 2019 to August 25th, 2019. That was also 4 assignments. Learning Theories and Diversity, Management and Motivation, Teaching Strategies and Assessment Strategies, and Complete Course Plan was what was in that class. Biopsychosocial Concepts of Advanced Nursing 1. I started that on August 24th and finished it on August 30th. That was actually a really easy course for me. 3 assignments. I had to do a concept map, change strategy and implementation paper, and a quality improvement presentation poster. Biopsychosocial Concepts of Advanced Practice Nursing, that was number 2. I took that from September 3rd and finished it September 5th. It only took me 2 days. The assignments were super easy, and all I did was type papers for 2 days straight. The 3 assignments in there: analysis of position papers for vulnerable populations, biopsychosocial population health policy proposal, and a letter to an editor about population health policy advocacy were the 3 papers that I wrote in that class. Integrating technology into nursing education. That one was from September 5th, and I finished that one September 18th. That was a more technology-based learning, how technology has improved the healthcare atmosphere. 4 assignments in that class: education technology needs assessment, the impact of educational technologies comparison, and implementing new educational technology were the 4 courses in there. Healthcare law and policy was the next one. That was September 17th and finished October 6th. That one was a little bit difficult for me because I don't know a whole lot about healthcare policy, even though I'm trying to get more into it. That one had 4 assignments: dashboard benchmark evaluation, policy proposal, presentation, and training session for policy implementation were the papers written in that class. Assessment and evaluation in nursing education, that started on October 3rd. I finished that on October 9th. 4 courses in that one as well. I should say 4 assignments: course definition and alignment table, criteria and rubric development, course evaluation template, and program effectiveness presentation were the assignments in that class. And then the final class was economics and decision making in healthcare. I started that one on October 7th. I finished it October 12th. There was 3 assignments in that class: executive brief, proposal of new economic opportunities, business case for a new economic opportunity, and implementation plan for a new economic opportunity were the courses, were the assignments in that course. And then finally, I get to the MSN Practicum capstone. That started on October 14th, and I finished it on November 11th of 2019. There was a total of 6 assignments within that course. Conference call scheduling and notes, where you spoke with the instructor for the course, with your preceptor, to go over what your expectations were for the course and what it is that you wanted to get out of the course. Then you had to do a problem statement, PICOT paper. You had to do an intervention plan, implementation plan, and evaluation plan. And then finally, you submitted the final project based on all of those assignments that you did before, all 5 of those. So practicum was actually great. I know that it took me a little less than a month to do. There's a total of 100 hours that you have to meet for the practicum experience. And it's quite a process for the practicum experience. So my suggestion is, if you do decide to go to this program, that you look immediately for a preceptor and start getting that done, because it is a process with Capella as well as the preceptor with regards to transcripts and things that need to be submitted by your preceptor and approved by Capella. So luckily, I got that done as quickly as possible, and it was approved, and I was able to start my practicum and get it over with. So like I said before, the practicum is about 100 hours. 80 of those hours have to be in indirect patient care, with 20 of those hours actually being indirect, working with patients in patient care. So that was very easy for me to do. I worked with a preceptor that worked at a hospital, so I was able to either be with her, or I was able to either be with other master's prepared people that worked there to educate me in regards to my practicum project. So your practicum, you have to select a specific project that you're working on. I personally selected a project that was affecting that hospital, and that was diabetes management. It was something where they were having a lot of new people coming in and being newly diagnosed that weren't aware of what diabetes was and what the treatment was. So that was the project that I worked on for my capstone with Capella University. Let's talk about the pros and cons of Capella University. What will benefit you and what may not benefit you. So starting with the pros, FlexPath is an amazing program. It allows learners to work at their own pace. Whether you either want to move as quickly as you want to move or as slow as you want to move, you have the option of having control over your education. Having flexible schedules with easy assignment due dates adjustments is great. Before you start a course, you're supposed to select due dates on when you feel like you're going to be able to submit your assignments. If you're not able to submit your assignment by that due date, you're more than welcome to change it. It allows you to make those adjustments. depending on what you've got going on in your personal life. And that's something that's great for people that might have things going on outside of just going back to school. And lastly, affordability. Due to the courses being online, there was no like additional payments for having room and board or any additional costs of having to purchase books. The books are provided to you through the Capella University website. You pay a one-time fee every semester, so you're able to pull up the books that you need to use. And you don't have to worry about lugging books around to school. So I mean, to me, that saves my back and that saves my pocket, so I'm good with that. So let's talk about the cons with Capella University's FlexPath. Financial aid is going to be a problem if you decide to do the FlexPath option with Capella University. The amount of money that you accept for your financial aid may not cover the cost of your tuition. So let me explain kind of how this is broken down. Financial aid is based on 4 quarters per year. So every 12 weeks is one billing cycle. You get 12 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 weeks, and 12 weeks, and so on. So, and again, this is my own personal opinion. I know that many FlexPath students were sponsored by Capella, so they didn't have to worry about the financial aspect, but for those of us who actually do have to worry about the financial aspect, this is what concerned me when I finally finished the program. So I finished the program just shy of the second 12 weeks. So I actually finished it maybe like a week before the 12-week end. My first quarter, they paid for all my tuition. I had no issue. My second quarter, they did not pay for my tuition. When I originally accepted financial aid, they had offered me $8,000 to pay for my courses, which would you think $8,000 in a 6-month period would pay for your graduate courses. I mean, that's what I was offered when I did my BSN, and that played penny enough. And even when I decided to go back for my MSN at another university, that would have still been able to cover my courses. But anyways, I digress. I finished it slightly early. So this has been a battle that I have been dealing with Capella. I informed them that they kept changing my tuition as I was going through. It started with $8,000, then it went to $6,000, then they ended up only giving me $3,000, and that's what paid for my first semester. And they stated that I was no longer eligible for any more financial aid, and that they actually, based on the plan, I guess the money they took off for tuition discounts and things, you know, I should be able to pay for it myself. It's basically what Capella told me. So I have to pay for my final semester myself, which is $1,300, and that's not covered by Capella, and they're not budging to give me back the financial aid that they originally promised me. So if you decide to do the FlexPath program, make sure that you get your financial aid in writing of how that's going to be broken down, and make sure that you understand that. Don't make the same mistake that I did, because you might end up in the same situation that I did, where they're not going to pay for your final semester and you kind of have to figure it out on your own. But yeah, this is my personal experience. This is what happened to me. I don't want to see this happen to anybody else if you decide to go back. You know, if you like the fact that the FlexPath option gives you the ability and the flexible schedule for you to submit assignments and not have to worry about meeting due dates and those things, and I say by all means, make sure that you look into Capella and check it out and be informed about the decision to go back for your graduate degree. However, if financial aid is an issue, like most of it is for most people in healthcare, because, you know, we can't afford $3,000 every 12 weeks, then maybe you should look into somewhere else where the financial aid options make a little bit more sense. But anyways, my last con with Capella University was that when I applied for graduation, I did not receive my degree and my transcripts for 2 months after I finished my final course. That's crazy to me. So I finished my courses in 5 months. I went through it super quickly, and I thought that the graduation process was going to be super quick. So I applied for graduation in my final course, which was my practicum and capstone course, so that, you know, they could get the ball running. Well, when I called them and said, you know, hey, you know, I accepted a job, they want me to have my master's and the things that I need to start this job, they said, well, we won't actually start looking at your application until you finish your final course. So even if I had submitted my graduation the beginning of my second quarter knowing I was going to finish it, it wouldn't have mattered, because they weren't even going to look at it until I finished my final course, which I understand to some degree, but at the same time, most people don't want to wait 2 months to get their degree. Most of the time at major universities, they get it within a couple weeks, not 2 months. I didn't realize that the graduation process was going to be so long. They said it was going to take 4 to 6 weeks to even review my application, and then another 4 to 6 weeks for me to get my degree. This is what I received directly from the heads of the programs. So luckily I was able to talk to somebody and I get it a little bit quicker than I probably would have, but it's the point that it should not take that long for you to get your physical degree as well as get your transcripts in case you decide to go back to school for your DNP or your PhD or whatever. It shouldn't take that long for you to get it. So just know that if you choose to take this program and you choose to do nursing education or really any program with them, that it's going to take you quite a bit of time to get your degree in the end. And I feel like that's something that should have been discussed when I had originally spoken to the enrollment counselor, but it wasn't something that was ever brought to my attention. So those are the two major cons that I saw with the Capella University's FlexPath program. So sorry to go on a little bit of a tangent there at the end, but I wanted to make sure that you understood the pros and cons of that program from somebody who paid for the tuition and is giving an unbiased review of how the program actually was. There are a lot of benefits to the program. I definitely would recommend it if you're looking for something where you want to get it done really quickly, and you can, but just know that there are cons associated with getting degrees done that quickly. You have to just kind of accept the pros and the cons with it. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions regarding Capella's program that maybe I didn't cover in this video, make sure that you leave a comment down below. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and follow me on my social media outlets at Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, I hope that y'all are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!